No, you know what? I've had enough of looking at this box. It's getting opened today, and there's not even any room in it just to open it. Hey guys, today I'm just doing an opening of the Contract Chaos set, and I've already opened the box and assembled everything, definitely just to speed up the process of doing this video, and not because I've already filmed the entire opening and my camera just decided to discard the video, like, what's this video we're in the middle of filming? It's gone. It's not there. It doesn't exist. Never did. Anyway, decided to open the Contract Chaos set because this box has just been sat on my floor for months, and you know, it's not a resealable box. It's got one of those Lego flaps that you just kind of have to rip open, which you would have seen if in the original video. I don't even like when Lego does it, so I don't know why Mattel decided to do this particularly for this set, but it means we have to get rid of the box, which means the box is no longer in the house. Downside to that, we have to find somewhere to put all of this stuff, but I'm sure we'll manage that. Now, I got this set for, I think, £16 reduced, but either someone else told me that they got it for 12 at a different time, or I got it for 12. I can't quite remember, but one of those two cases. For 16, I was happy to take this. For 12, I'm sure I would have been more happy. My point is to keep re-releasing this set with a different figure in it at Argos. And, you know, that is when I would advise you buy it, is when they're trying to clear out the latest one. Because, you know, I'm just not convinced it's really worth the money for the full set. But then I'm really tight with money, and if you're a kid, you want to get your Mattel accessories up, this is a really cool way to get them all in one go. And unfortunately, it's more or less all you have as well. You know, I rant on quite a lot about how difficult it is to get like Mattel weapons and stuff. And, you know, a kid is probably going to have to take this. And if you buy this for your kid for Christmas, they're probably going to love it. It's got two things that I would have loved on Christmas Day. Loads of Mattel weapons in it, and so many parts that you couldn't possibly remember all of them. That's something I still love to this day, is buying something where it's impossible to remember everything that's in it. And I would have loved it even more when I was a kid. And there's so many little features and pieces and stuff in this that, you know, I do think it's a really cool set. I'm just not convinced that, I think, what is it, £25 they normally go for? Just not convinced that it's necessarily worth that. I mean, you could argue that it is with the price of basics nowadays as well, but I digress. And I think that's more or less all of the waffle that I had to do with this video. You've lost all of the pieces of me struggling to put bits like the table together and click bits in place and stuff, but whatever, that just makes me look more intelligent. So let's start off with the steel chair, because it's boring. Boring Mattel steel chair, standard enough. What are you going to do? You know, it is what it is. Next up, we've got the two desk chairs. Now, I just think it's really interesting that Mattel decided to do these. I think these are really cool. They disassemble into 3 parts. And as you can see, this one just has marks all over it. It's crazy. But yeah, really, really cool accessories. The thing I like about this set is that when I was a kid, one thing I would have liked is realism. And having the actual, like, WWE announce table, and because I've never had one of these before, and the you know, the cushion desk chairs, I think that just adds to the realism just a little bit more. I think that's really cool. Another thing I like about the set though is that it kind of reminds me of Jack's stuff, in that it kind of just has random stuff thrown in, like a steel chair and a steel trash can. And remember, in your 10-piece accessory pack off Ringside Collectibles, the lid is one of the pieces. So let's not forget that. It's a really important part of the set, the trash can lid. We've also got the Kendo Stick for some reason. Now, I've actually built up a semi-decent collection of Kendo Sticks, mostly by buying Dean Ambrose Elite Bodies. But, you know, it's pretty cool that we've got probably about 4 Kendo Sticks now. If I want to do a big Kendo Stick fest, I can do. Now, we've got the Podium here as well, which I think will be quite interesting. Even that's quite scratched up. Look at that. Which I think would be quite interesting to use if I was going to continue with my NWA pick fed, which I'm not sure I am. Just like, so, you know, the kind of place where Kyle What's-His-Face does like his announcements and stuff from. And one thing they don't tell you in the set is that the microphone is removable, so you could quickly lose that, but that is an extra piece. That's a little spoiler for you. That's not included on the contents list. It just has the Podium. Okay, next up we've got, let's go, steel steps. Possibly the weirdest part of the set, because it's just like, why is there a set of steel steps? There's no ring or anything. But, you know, I guess, you know, WWE like throwing the steel steps in the ring. It's probably not uncommon for them when they do the stereotypical contract signing fight segment, it's probably quite common for them to throw the steel steps in there as well. We've got the Mattel table. Again, I've built up a decent collection of these by buying bundles and whatnot. I don't particularly care for them more than Jack's tables, but they do seem to be a bit sturdier on the legs, so they can be a little bit easier to animate with. And we've got the cloth covering it as well, just to make it a bit more like the contract signing table, of course. So that's pretty cool. And finally, over here, we've got the announce table, which has 2 Mattel microphones. You know, boring enough, pretty run-of-the-mill, but it is extra stuff. It's things like microphones that you don't remember when you're recapping what is in the set. You got a contract that says John Cena on it, and even that's scratched up. Jesus Christ. It's like I've got this from like a bundle that I've got from a kid or something, like off Facebook Marketplace or something. Like, it's all played with already. We've got this the pen for the contract, which is completely out of scale with how big the pen would be if you were that size, but at the same time, it's definitely small enough to where this will be the first thing that your child loses as soon as the set is opened. And we've got perhaps the most interesting part for me, the WWE style announce table. I don't even know if I'll use this because, you know, I don't know why WWE have tables like this in particular rather than just regular tables. But I've wanted one for a long time, you know? You need to add a bit of damage onto a submission. You need to do it on the announce table. I've not had an announce table. How am I adding the extra damage to that submission? Just can't do it. And the thing I like about the announce table sets is that you get the little monitors in there as well. Again, realism. I like being able... I would have liked the idea when I was a kid to be able to just pick up a monitor and hit someone in the head with it. So that's really cool. The table's just cool. There's nothing wrong with the table at all. The table's just really cool. However, there is a fair bit of damage to this as well. Which panel? Yeah, it's the front panel. We've got this mark, this mark, this mark, this mark, this mark, these marks. It's all like scraped along the top as well. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then I think the sides... I mean, that one's a bit scratched. I'll accept that because of the style of plastic. But this one has, like, super glue in there. Yeah, just, you know, a bit of a mess. But I digress. And finally, up to the part I definitely didn't get to before the camera cut out the first time. We get to the John Cena, a basic figure. It's not really of interest to me. Basics aren't really of interest to me anyway. I will keep this guy because it's not going to be worth selling. So, you know, it would be novel enough to just have a copy of him, you know, on the shelf or whatever, because we got it in our Contract Chaos set. So the John Cena basic, it's got that JBL hairstyle on it. It's, yeah, I guess the face is fine if you don't mind the hair. We got that Never Give Up, just fully fucking generic, just fully generic John Cena with incredibly loose wrist. That is ridiculous. I'm glad that loose wrist is on this figure and not one of my others. We've got the You Can't Stop Me wrist... fuck me, the camera's terrible. The camera's having a mare here today. We've got those You Can't Stop Me wristbands and the Never Give Up armband. Same on the other side. Generic jean shorts, trainers. You know, what you're going to do. It's a basic John Cena. What else is it going to be? Just be thankful it's got a modern head scan, you know? But yeah, that's everything that we get in the Contract Chaos sets. I'm trying to pose the John Cena to sit in one of the chairs, and his legs just do not go. They are stiff as I'm not opening it, and I'm not getting those bent. So yeah, it's up to you whether you think the set is really worth the money that it costs. I personally am just not particularly convinced, but you know, it bears in mind that, you know, if your kid wants this set, it's a really cool set for them to get, you know. And let's just recap the contents again. We got the two like padded office chairs. We got the podium with a stick mic. We got the steel steps down there. 2 microphones. We got the announce table with the monitors in there. Very nice. We got the pen. If you want to like. So, you know, if John Cena wants to, like, stab Zack Ryder in the eye with his pen, he's got that, you know? You can't even hold that up. Look at that. Even the weight of the pen is too much for him to hold. Just stay there. We got the Kendo Stick for some reason, but I'm not complaining, because Kendo Sticks aren't the easiest things to get. We've got the trash can with lid. We've got the steel chair. and we've got the wooden table with the cloth cover as well. So you get plenty of bits in here. It's really up to you whether you think it's worth retail, and you can also bear in mind that they'd get a new set in with a new figure and then eventually reduce it so you could get it a lot cheaper. So if you're in no rush to get it, just wait. However, if your kid wants this set for like a Christmas or something, I think it's a great set. You could quibble about whether you think it's worth the money all day long. At the end of the day, I'm tight with money. I know what I want to spend on things, and you know, a kid is going to love this regardless. And I think that's more or less everything that I can say about this set, since it kind of needed to be more of a review than an opening video because the opening video disappeared. But regardless, if you enjoyed this video, please do like, comment and subscribe, and check out my other opening videos, which are actually opening videos. Thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.